In this video, I want to show you some effective ways to scale your Facebook ad campaigns if you're ready to make more sales, generate more leads, and just create more volume. So the first thing when it comes to scaling your campaigns is you really got to make sure you have something that's actually a winner. I've made the mistake, and I see lots of people make this mistake too many times, where they see something, for example, that's just got 2 sales or 2 conversions at a great cost, and they're like, awesome, let's triple the budget and let's get triple the results. Unfortunately, it's not how it works, or everyone would do it and everyone would be a millionaire off of Facebook ads. But that's not how it works, but that's okay. So the first thing is making sure that you actually have a winner. So what's a good way of doing that? Well, an easy way to do this is to first off make sure you're testing a variety of different things. Test different audiences, test different creative, copy, headlines, placements. Test lots of different things so you can actually pinpoint something that is a winner and find something that has statistical significance. So for example, what I like to consider a winner is something that has had at least 20 sales, 20 to 25 sales at the KPI and at the cost per acquisition that I want. So for example, if I wanted something to generate leads at $20 a lead or less, this has 173 at 16. Whatever this ad is actually a winner. It's not a one-off fluke where it did well and then it started to do poorly. It's consistently done well over time, and it's a proven winner. Same with some of these ones, right? But this one, it looks great. 18 leads, $11 a lead. However, there's a chance that the cost starts to go up. That's a little bit unstable potentially, and maybe it's just not as good. And I'll see if this one's a good example. But you can even see here, if we go to performance overview here, and if I just check day by day, because this was launched the 18th, started off nothing, 19th, super expensive, then it got quite a lot cheaper, then even more cheaper, then even cheaper, and then today it's jumped up a little bit. So we need to see how the rest of the day pans out, and we need to get a couple more leads to get to that 20 mark to make sure that this is actually something that I want to scale. So before you even think about scaling, if you don't have something that's generated that for you, you need to go back and continue to test. Put up more volume of copy, creative, and audiences, and find something that is a true winner. I think the easiest way to find a winner is simply by testing more creative. At the end of the day, creative takes up like the majority of the space that people see when they're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. So it's important to test consistently those creatives. Now, once you have creatives, awesome. How can you scale them? And once you have a winner, how can you scale them? 2 ways how I like to think of it. It's horizontal scaling and vertical scaling. I'll start with vertical because it's a little bit easier. Vertical is simply increasing the budget by a certain amount as much as you can in every single day. What I found to work most is by increasing the budget, as long as it's been a winner, by 20% every single day. As long as the previous day and consistently over time, it's continued to show results. Only scale it by 20%. That's what I would recommend doing at every ad set, right? The next way to vertically scale is simply just by duplicating, not changing a single thing with the ad, and just duplicating it at the same budget or even a little bit less. You'll effectively, if you just keep it at the same budget, you'll effectively be doubling your budget of the said ad set that you're duplicating. It's a very easy way to scale things up. Super simple. Finally, when it comes to vertical scaling, what I would recommend doing is having 2 to 3 winners, taking those 3, duplicating them into a brand new campaign. And let me actually choose these 2 because they have the same objective. You'll duplicate them into a brand new campaign, and this campaign will be a CBO. And you'll make that setting change here at the campaign level, or ACB, Advantage Campaign Budget, because they like to change the names all the time. And you'll set that budget quite high. I'd actually recommend starting your CBO budget at around $100 a day. I mean, if you want to be safe, you could do between 80 to 100. I like doing 100, and I've always had it work very well for me. Keep an eye on it. If it continues to do well, I found that you can double the budgets of CBOs as long as they're performing well. So for example, let's say I had these 2 winners. I duplicated them into a CBO. I vertically scaled them by just increasing the budget and changing nothing besides the setup. From there, if I launch it at 100 a day, in day 1, things are looking good. It's working. Great. I could double that thing to 200 a day. and so on. Now, let's say you launch it at 100 a day and it's not doing too well. You could drastically lower the budget and see if it rebounds and give it time, because in most cases, these campaigns need at least 3 days to actually optimize and get their footing. Anything that you're judging before that 3-day window is just invalid, and I would not be judging it based on that. So that's the first way, vertical scaling, a couple simple methods there. Finally, let me go over horizontal scaling. Horizontal scaling is essentially just by testing more things and making small adjustments to a current winner. So once again, if we go to a winner here, let's say I had this one and I want to scale this thing up. Let's say I've vertically scaled it, I've increased the budget, but now I want to do something more. You could duplicate this thing as many times as you'd like. I like doing 3 usually. And in each one of these 3 new duplicates, you want to change something very small. And it could be something as simple as changing the age range that you're targeting, the location, adding a different interest or removing them altogether and doing broad, or maybe even testing a different placement. On top of that, you could also change the lead-in, so the first 2 lines of text or sometimes 3 lines of text that people see, the copy as a whole, the headline, the description, or even the creative itself. Horizontal scaling is basically just taking it and changing something minor. I think in most cases, testing a creative is too big of a swing to test as a horizontal scaling thing, because in scaling, we're not trying to find a new winner. We're just trying to take a winner and expand its reach and expand its win, right? So with that being said, I think creative could be too big of a swing, but you totally could do it, especially if it's very similar. Like I could do this exact same creative here with the shark, but maybe just remove this and this and have it a lot simpler. But I think when it comes to horizontal scaling, an easy way to do it is changing the lead-in, just the first couple lines of text that appear in the ad. The headline is an amazing test. Adding a new description, or potentially just changing the copy of the creative. So the core creative is the same, but it's maybe just coming at people at a different angle. These are really easy ways to scale your creatives, scale your Facebook ads, and find better results. And it really does come back to having a good library of assets that you can actually test with. So make sure you're always producing assets, you're always coming up with new things to test. And that's pretty much everything for this video. Now, if you're interested in getting more Facebook ads feedback, more advice, and more guidance, join the Predictable Profits Mastermind. It's totally free. You can ask questions on different ads, reviewing your ads, all that kind of good stuff, and I'll personally take a look at them, all for free. You can join that below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.